Hi, I'm here today with Chet Harmer, who's on our BYU MS Asia board, and also Philip Ho, who is our president of the BYU Management Society in Taiwan. Anyone that's out there that knows the BYU Management Society has probably heard about Taiwan, heard about the great work that Philip's done and his team has done. They are, I would say, Chet, wouldn't you say they're the most active chapter in the world and
I
have
would
been for
say
quite some time?
I would say easily they are, and it's not by accident. They have a strategy that they follow through.
Just tell us a little bit about yourself and about BYU MS, and tell us a little bit about the chapter that you've helped build up there.
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Philip Ho. I was the chapter leader for Taiwan for 2 years, and then I'm still the active member of the executive committee that runs the program in Taiwan. And personally, I'm a graduate student from BYU Provo and in the master program of organizational behavior. And over the years, my career is in human resources management for over 30 years, working mainly for foreign companies or American companies, such as Citibank, Duty Free Shopper, San Emmett, Warner Lambert, RCA, to name a few. And over the years, I accumulate experience in the human resources management as well as training and development. So obviously that's one of my interest areas. And after many years of working and retired, then I got involved with BYU Management Society in Taiwan, since I am a graduate from BYU. So obviously I have some interest in helping people to gather together and set up a platform that can help young people as well as professionals to enhance their career. So within the last 3-4 years, we were successful of building up the chapter with more and more volunteer workers. Most of them are professionals. And with the network in the church, as well as my professional career, we were able to invite many professionals to come in to have monthly. We started like a quarterly, but then we find out so many talented people, so we do monthly, and then even 2 sessions in a month to invite professionals to come in to talk about their careers, their company, and let our members of the chapter be more knowledgeable about the business world, about the job market, and learn more about certain professionals. Because we invite experts in engineering and in computer, in manufacturing, in marketing, and all aspects of a career, that our young people can learn the job market as well as professional areas that they're interested. And we also run corporate visit programs that we get hold of these big companies that we're interested, talk to their management, and do physical visits to their facilities, as well as online visit because the pandemic. So we run that and got a lot of people sign up for it. We built up a group of people who are interested. So whenever we have an event, we announce it, and more and more people sign up for it. And then we also develop our own training programs because we have so many talented people. And also, even within the church, we have a group of over 20 professors in different areas of professions. So we get them to help with some of the training, and then we get professional managers to help. Through their connection, we invite non-member professionals to help. So adding all the resources together, we were able to run like easily 12 to 15 different courses in a year, and some programs are so well received that we run it like 2-3 times a year. And we also get connected with BYU. So in the past years, we invited several other BYU professors from Provo to come and talk to us online. The only trouble that or challenge we have is that in Taiwan we do need translation because English is not the first language, so we need a very strong team of translators. And fortunately, we do have those talents, and we were able to run several of the courses, including the ones that Chet helped us with. So those really attract people to come to us and work with us. And so over the years, we get accumulated resources, and most of the programs we run, we recorded them. So we turn some of the recorded programs into online programs that we start to put them on our website, and people can visit and listen to those or watch those videos. So that also helped with learning with our membership. So over the years, we grow our membership from less than 100 to 200 some members. And also we invited some really committed membership that they're willing to donate money and pay a higher membership fee to support our programs. So for the last 2-3 years, we're trying to run programs and trying to be self-sufficient to support our expenses. And that's one of the goals that we're setting for ourselves. The way we run our chapter is that we organize committees. With talented people, we run many committees, including the following. We have a business talks committee that organize the workshops or presentations for professionals. We also have a committee for corporate visit, either physical or online. And we have a committee for training and development that help us to organize programs and to put together trainers and facilities and everything else. And we also have a committee for starting new businesses, where we invite people who are interested in starting their own business, work out some workshops and programs like the program that we have for Master of Business on the Street and other programs. So we not only invite them to attend the business plan competition, but we also organize training programs before they join the competition, so that not only just go for the competition, but they learn the basics for how to start a business. And also after they run the competition, if they want, they can come to us. We have a supporting team that are willing to help them with their business plan, with the marketing strategies, or with the networking that our professionals can help them to really start their business.
Can I ask you a question here real quickly? Sure. Right now, you're listing a lot of volunteers. So there might be people listening that are saying like, wow, there's so many people here. And how do I get these people? Like, I'd love to do something like this, but where am I going to find the people? So I guess that's, one of the questions that someone might be asking here as they're hearing this. So maybe you could talk a little bit about how were you able to gather together all of these different volunteers that are helping you? You said, members of the church and non-members, and to get them to be part of the management society.
Right.
What advice would you give somebody for that?
Well, I guess networking is the key, because I guess I have some advantage on that because I've been in leadership positions in the church. So most people know me in the church, and I know them, and also I know their profession. So when I contact them, they're willing to talk, and when we share the vision that they can come out and help the young people to learn their profession, and they only need to spend a little time to prepare since they've been in the business for years and they know what to share, and most of them are willing to do that. So that's for the church members. For non-members, I start with my colleagues in the business, and over the years I have good connections with them, and then I also keep the principle of reciprocity. So whenever I ask people to help, they know that they can ask me for help if they have something that I can contribute. So over the years, I built up the kind of relationship that when I invite people, they know that I'm serious. They know that they can do some good for people. And we explain to them the vision of the Management Society, that we really want to help young people to build their career and help professionals to enhance their career. And I think most people with a little time to prepare and to talk about their expertise, they're willing to do it. So I don't know whether that answered the question, but we're
It does. It answers the question because,
okay.
volunteers is always a big issue for a lot of chapters and trying to build up chapters.
Right.
Anita, may I say something?
Sure. Go ahead. Yes.
When I used to be the president of the Silicon Valley chapter of the Management Society, we were doing many of the same things that Philip is talking about. But one thing that we found that helps is we had a committee for company visits. We had a committee for women in business. And so for the committee of company visits, we had people on that committee that were really interested in finding out what was going on in other companies. And so they were happy to be on a committee. And we went to companies like Yahoo and Google and IBM and HP, and we went to 40 different companies over a 5-year period. But my point is, we had 4 different areas that we focused on, similar to what Philip is talking about, and the people on the committee were really interested in that. So company visits, we had women in business, we had skills development, how to get a job, how to start a small business, how to learn different types of software. So, and it wasn't that we just did one event a month. We did at least one event in each of these areas. And so I know Philip does these things almost every month in each of the categories. So it's a lot easier to find people that are interested when you have a category that appeals to them.
Yes, I think that certainly, is the way you have to be aware of what the market is and the job market and the trends and things. And fortunately, we have several of the members and some friends who are in leading positions in the AI and the software business and in marketing in different areas. So we were able to invite them to come and chat with us and share their experience. And even Joe Chen was one of the speakers twice, or if not 3 times. But they're willing to share and they're willing to talk to young people. And I think that's very helpful. Obviously, we need to do a little bit of preparation. So every time I talk to someone, I send them a presentation that I prepare to talk about the BYU Management Society, our vision, what we're doing, what committees we have, what the events we hold every month, and what contribution they can do to us. And hopefully they can learn something from us and they can share. So that's some of the work we do prior to talking to these individuals. Obviously, network will help because we also invited some people that we don't know, but the professionals that came to our programs introduce us to them. So through connections, we enlarge our pool of professionals that are willing to help.
One of the other things that struck me as you were talking earlier is, as you know, one of our focuses for BYU Management Society in Asia has been, how do we help people that are at BYU to say, come home, come home and work here, that you can be successful in your own country. Someone
Right.
from Taiwan, and you seem to be an example of that. You got a master's at BYU Provo, you returned to Taiwan, you built yourself a successful career. Would you like to talk about that a little bit, give some advice if anyone's listening and thinking, oh, I need to stay in the United States or stay here, but and not return home? What advice would you give to them or say?
I think Taiwan still has a challenge of attracting people coming back to Taiwan. Well, I have to admit, because the BYU Provo didn't do a very good job on that, because when I look around, we don't have that many BYU graduate from Provo, but I see more coming. However, I must say that BYU Hawaii does a much better job, because I look around, there are many BYU Hawaii graduates. And just recently, Professor Chen from Provo, who happened to be on the board of BYU Hawaii, talking to me, saying that they want to build a strong BYU Hawaii Alumni Association. And I think certainly I want to work with them. The Management Society will work with the Alumni Association to build a strong chapter, because I know a lot of BYU Hawaii graduates. However, we didn't put much effort on recruiting alumni from Provo. I know there are some, but not as many. But I guess that may be one of the direction that we should take, that we should let people know we have a strong chapter. They can join us to share their experience, share their expertise, as well as networking, because I believe we have, with the membership growing, we do have the good networking ability that can help them. So we certainly need their help as well, because
Right.
we always need the more capable people to help to build the chapter in a way.
You're able to do the networking that you are because of the fact that your career was in Taiwan and that you returned back to Taiwan after education, that you have the network that you have in Taiwan and have been successful.
In my case, it's a bit different, because I went to Provo when I was 34. I had a successful career in the human resources area before I went to BYU. But I think my early background prior to my education in Provo does help with the networking, with all that. But the BYU education gave me more advantage of knowing the BYU side, the education side, and also the church networking. So I guess it's a blessing to have both the good things that happened to me, and I'm able to do things with my previous experience as well as my BYU connections, and certainly with you, with Chad, and all the BYU connections, that we can build it much stronger, a chapter, as we're doing now. So,
you're a phenomenal leader, and we've said this many times, is that you've really been able to lead the BYU Management Society chapter, to make it the most active chapter in the world still today, and that's been going on for years now. You've been able to keep the growth and keep the pace going. What type of leadership advice do you give people if there's anyone out there listening, what would be your top leadership advice you would give them?
I think I have my own leadership model that I believe in, which start with a vision. And if you have a vision, you think something can be done that will bring a lot of good, and you can kind of describe it and visualize it, and then start to believe in it. And then you take that vision, and the next step is you start to communicate. You talk to the people that you think will help with that vision and can share the vision and want to do things in that area. You talk to them and convince them. Then you have a base of people that will be willing to work with you on those things. Because we don't start with a whole bunch of people. We start with a few that catch the vision and thinking they can do some good. And then obviously you need to have people that knows how to execute. And fortunately, we have a group of people that has some management skills and experience, and they're willing to work together as a team. So we can kind of make things happen. Sometimes you have a vision and you don't have the skill to make it happen, then it becomes a dream. However, I think the most important part of the whole process is the last step, which is get it done. Because a lot of people can start something and they get frustrated when problems come and challenges come, and they give up. So I think just like the gospel, the last but most important part is enduring to the end. And as a leader, that you have to have that understanding that you have to get it done, not just to start something. It's easy to start because a lot of new businesses start every year, but only probably 5% can last for 5 years. So the same synergy goes with the starting a management chapter. You have to have the passion. And the good thing is that if you start with a vision and people share that vision, saying we can do a lot of good to the young people, to professionals that want to have a good career, and we have the connection, we have the experience that we can share, then that passion will just help you to build whatever you're doing. So that's, I think, what I believe in. I had that experience in many of the things I started, including the Management Society in Taiwan. The other program that we are proud of is obviously Launching Leaders. We start with all the efforts, do all the translation from English into Chinese, and gather a group of people, work on the project, and we're running it the second year, or third year, I think, with over 15,000, 1,500 people with that program, and keep on doing, and people like it. So these kind of things that get you excited, that you see the difference you can make, you see the change in people's life, that makes you more convinced that you're doing the right thing. So I guess that the good cycle can cheer you up and get you going.
Really good. Chet, do you have anything for Philip? Any questions you want to ask?
Yes, Anita and I and the leaders of the Singapore chapter, the Philippines chapter, and then Philip's chapter, Taiwan chapter, are embarking on this idea of One Asia. So we've got 3 active chapters that are going to be working much more together and helping and supporting each other. Of course, we're interested in any people in the Management Society in our other chapters. But my question is, Philip, what are some ways you think these 3 strong chapters can work together. One thing that I'm thinking about is it's my impression there are people who speak Mandarin in other countries other than Taiwan. So would it be possible for the Taiwan chapter to kind of take the lead in providing materials and events for Mandarin? So would that be possible? Or what are some other ways you think these three active chapters can work together?
Well, for sure that we can share all our Mandarin programs with Mandarin speaking countries, such as Singapore, Hong Kong, and I know for sure for Thailand, for Malaysia, even for Indonesia and Vietnam, because I learned that we have Mandarin speaking branches in most of these countries, which means, Mandarin is a common language in many of the countries. There are many Chinese people who move there, and more Chinese people from China are working or studying or living in these Asian countries. So there's definitely a pool of people that can benefit from the Mandarin programs that we run. And we're more than willing to share those, open that, and since most of them are in online programs, so they can join anytime. For instance, we had run the Luncheon Leader programs. We had people from Singapore, even from London, to join us. So that's for sure that we can open up with our programs. And I guess the same thing for Singapore. If they run some Mandarin programs, we can join that. But other than that, I believe we all have different programs. Like in Singapore, they can run some English programs, corporate visit, and things like that. And if they open up, then we can with some translation, we can share their programs with our audience. And the same thing with Singapore, Philippines. I know Philippines have their own programs and things that our people will be interested. And I hope one day that we all can share not only these training, these programs, but the opportunities of jobs and trading and things, that one day the networking will chip in and then help people develop small businesses and all the others. And I also believe that with a group of chapters, we have much bigger base that we can invite resources from Provo, from Hawaii. I know for sure Professor Chen want to really come to Asia and join with the effort of developing these chapters, be it BYU Management Society or BYU Hawaii alumni chapters. And I think that joining the efforts, we can really pull resources together and benefit everybody if we do it right. Because I know, for instance, Professor Chen had a lot of resources in China. He's kind of Chinaman for BYU, both Provo and Hawaii. He visited there almost every year or even more than once a year to bring in student groups, performance groups, and visit all the major cities. And he know a lot of the church member who are senior professionals in those big cities. And he was talking to me that if we want to do a career development program, he can certainly invite some of those top executives in China that can share their experience online. So I think if we pool these resources together, the one China, one Asia, the concept can really help all chapters, because I think for especially for those startup chapters, because they don't have resources. It's hard for them to pull in so much resources like we can do. if we do it right. Then we can probably have weekly programs, 1 week from Taiwan, 1 week from Singapore, 1 week from Provo, 1 week from Hawaii, and everybody can benefit. So if we have that sharing and collaborating concept, I think this One Asia concept can really work, and especially for helping those startup chapters, because they don't have much resources as a Philippines or Singapore or Taiwan. But once we share, they can easily attract people to come to their meetings, because they can tell them that every week we have a webinar somewhere, we have a training program of 12 weeks, you can join and this and that once you join our membership. And then we may help them to say we only accept members from their chapters. So, that way that will boost the membership, and gradually they can build their strength, start their own programs, get their professionals together to work.
Thank you.
I love that, because that's our vision of One Asia, is helping each other. We really appreciate, Philip, your time here today, and you giving us your great advice on building a chapter. We really appreciate you taking the time here. It's actually, those of you that might know, it's morning time for Philip and me, and it's afternoon time for Chet. So this is a great example of us all. Chet's in Utah, I'm in Vietnam, and Philip's in Taiwan, and here we are on Zoom, all working together and talking together about BYU Management Society. So we really appreciate you taking the time today for our podcast that we're doing here now each month, because our vision for the area is about One Asia. Do you have anything ending to say, Philip or Chad, as we end this podcast here now?
No, I think it was very, very good and very helpful. Thank you.
Well, it's really an honor, and it's such a pleasant experience working with Chad, with Anita. They're great leaders, and they are such devoted people trying to make things happen. It's always a great experience working with the passionate leaders that can make things happen. I appreciate that opportunity.
We need to thank you, because you've been a driving force, not just for Taiwan, but also for the entire area. So we really need to thank Philip, that without Philip, BYU Management Society Asia would not be what it is today without Philip Ho here by our side. So we appreciate you, Philip, for all that you do. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much, and have a great day. And
Okay.
we appreciate you all, and all of our listeners out there. We hope that you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, or please put them in the description, or give us comments. If you'd love to be in contact with Philip, contact us. We'll put you in contact with him. And we appreciate all of our listeners out there for taking time to listen to this. Thank you all so much.